What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Wrestling Junkies podcast. I'm Eric, Mr. Cincinnati Robinson. As always, I am joined by a very excited, very raring to go, very handsome, very evil podcast guy, Chris Hoops. Choops, how we doing, buddy?
It is spooky season, so I might as well break out the spooky shirt. Danhausen, I cannot wait for you to come back to my television. I know I've said that before. I'll say it again. Tonight won't be that night because the Phillies are on again, up 1-0 in their championship series. More baseball talk on the wrestling podcast. I know that's what you guys like. But yeah, it was a big Raw last night. We got a big NXT tonight. I think it's the start of the Halloween Havoc on NXT tonight. And
I believe so, yeah.
I think it's week 1. So a lot of wrestling to get into.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, as always, if this is your first time joining the channel, welcome. Make sure to hit that QR code, like, share, subscribe, Choops, fix your microphone, follow us and do it and pay attention to everything we got going on. We've got 3 new episodes of Stump the Smart that have hit today. I don't know about you. I think I'm doing very well. This Johnny Van Frank guy can absolutely go.
I'll say it's about time
Pain in
that
my
you get
ass.
these. It's about time you get them set up because this guy's been blowing me up, and I told him I talked to you today, so I'd like you to be a little bit more respectful to our gracious game show host. We were very lucky to have him.
I'm the guest. I am the guest. That's the.
I understand, but he is on our platform. But just remember,
Yeah, well, okay.
he is our guest, so
he gets paid and we don't.
Just be aware, he gets paid handsomely.
Yeah, he's made that quite clear.
Well, he should because it was a big check.
Whatever. I don't know. He's got a really. I don't know. I feel like I've seen him before, but anyway, Raw season premiere was here. As always, we're not going to go necessarily match by match, but big takeaways that we've got from this episode. I want to start with Sami Zayn because he did kick off the show wearing a KO shirt in solidarity, playing the appropriate theme music this week, but he's looking a little lost. He's looking a little forlorn. He feels like Jey Uso has cost him his best friend. It looks like they are officially split now that KO is officially traded to SmackDown, ending essentially this relationship without anybody having to turn on each other. My first question for you is, how soon do you see the Sami Zayn heel turn coming?
You think there's a heel turn coming?
I would say so. I mean, they want to reestablish them both as main event players. I think that Sami's patience will wear a little thin, or his patience with Jey will wear a little thin. KO, monster face, everybody loves him right now. I see no reason to turn him, but wouldn't hurt to switch things up. As far as the heel side of Raw's roster. So that's what I'm passing over to you.
Yeah, I don't. I'm gonna disagree with you. I don't think we will see a heel turn for Sami. I think Sami could be one of the first challengers for the Scottish Psychopath when he wins the title. I think that there's a story there. I think it's hard to turn Sami right now because kind of what you said about KO. Everybody loves Sami. He's his beloved figure. I think it was your brother who made the point that he's the Mick Foley of this generation. Like it's hard to boo him. Heel turn. I don't see coming. That's
okay. That's fair.
Kind of caught me off guard with that one. It's an interesting take. I'd have to really think about that.
Yeah, I mean, yes, he is beloved, but I feel like, and I know that there's still more to be seen, but Sami Zayn has found himself involved with the Bloodline, and now it seems like he's involved with the Judgment Day and into that whole just schmoz of just bodies and storytelling that still feels largely undefined at this moment as far as kind of what his role is. We knew what his ambition was when it came to the Bloodline. We don't really know what that is with Judgment Day here, and I think that I'd like to see something a little bit different rather than rehashing kind of just the general, because he is beloved, we're just going to put him in this, cadre of people.
Okay. Yeah. That's like I said, an interesting take. I didn't expect to kick off with that. So again, you kind of caught me off guard a little bit. Like I could see him being a great challenger for Gunther in the Intercontinental title. I could see him going up against a Bronson Reed, whether Damian Priest cashes in, wins the title, that could be another one for Sami. I don't know about a heel turn. I could see where there might be frustration with Jey, and that leads to a match down the road. But a full-fledged heel turn, I have a hard time seeing that for Sami.
Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. Just figured I'd throw that out there and
Yeah,
see what you
fair enough.
initially thought. But
Don't worry.
there was something that you were very excited to talk about today and to get started with. And we didn't even pass go. We kind of just logged on and hit go live. So tell the world what it is that you wanted to discuss about last night's Raw.
Yeah, I think we had the best Jade interaction that we've seen so far since she's been in the WWE that with Becky. Because Becky will give it right back.
Yep.
She walks up and goes, that's a pretty belt. And Becky tells her, get in line. And you commented just the face that Jade made was all we needed.
It was a very
And
subtle one, too. Yeah.
I really like what they're doing with her kind of touring each brand and going, okay, where do I want to go? Where do I want to make an impact? And one of these times we're gonna get a face to face with her and Rhea, and that's gonna it's gonna explode. We're gonna get an interaction with her and Bianca when Bianca comes back.
Yes.
Like I really, really like what they're doing right now. And I think it's good that they're not just debuting her, like make her feel like a big deal, like, oh, she's this prize free agent. And now you do have separate GMs for everything, right? So you got
Yes.
Sean in NXT, you got Adam Pearce on Raw, you have Nick Aldis on SmackDown. Like
Yeah.
they have to woo her. And I really like that aspect of free agency for Jade and the storyline.
So my next question to you on this one is realistically, how long do you think that WWE can keep up just having her do segments like this? We know that Triple H has said, she will debut when she's ready at press conferences, which can mean a million different things. And while we were excited to see what happened at Fastlane, since we got the scoop on that, she's been at NXT, she's been at SmackDown, she's now been at Raw. She's gone toe to toe with some major names. I mean, Charlotte Flair, that we didn't see that coming. So when we both saw that and we popped. And I was pretty upset that I didn't see that last night with Jade and Becky because I fell asleep early. Like things like that does matter. But I guess, my question is, how long can that novelty of just showing up backstage really last unless and until she finds herself, even if it's just standing at the top of the ramp, something, how much of a shelf life do you think that this has?
When's the Rumble?
January.
I think you could drag it out
Oof,
that long.
okay.
I really do. I think that would be the best way to debut her. Debut her in the Rumble. I mean, she's got to be the odds-on favorite right now. And
Yeah.
you could keep playing the storyline. Like I showed up for my big match, I won, and now I get to pick where I get to go. Like it, and whoever's the champion, get ready.
Okay.
I think that would be a really fun storyline because, like I said, they can still have these face-to-face interactions with, like, we still haven't seen Asuka, we still haven't seen
Yeah.
Rhea Ripley, we still haven't seen Bianca, like we still haven't seen Kairi Sane, Bailey. Like there are so many people that she can still interact with and make the crowd go crazy like they did last night with Becky.
Yeah.
And she can keep having those interactions. Like after Becky wins the match, you can have Jade in the back, doing a little slow clap and scouting, for lack of a better term.
Yeah.
I really do think they can drag this out till January, and I would be okay with that.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't imagine a crown jewel debut
Nope.
or anything like that. I certainly don't have anything like that in mind, but I think I'm loving what they're doing so far. It's just I'm wondering how much. I mean, I know that there are other people that she can still have interaction with, but just that one backstage thing can, it could be run into the ground. I feel like so.
Well, you don't have
I
to
just
do it
hope that
every
they.
week either.
That's also true. That's also true. I just hope that they continue to find exciting ways to do it, I guess is what I'm getting at.
Yeah, like have her buy a ticket to Survivor Series and she sits front row or something for the women's war games or whatever match that is. Like there's a lot of things you can do and play with that. So I do think January is when we see the official Jade debut, and I could see her coming in at 30 and just cleaning house and winning.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. You heard it here first from the podcast dad. Molly Whopping Man Meat, going through and Bronson Reed, man, showing up and showing out.
Dude, is he the greatest Intercontinental Champion of all time?
I don't even think it's close. Yeah.
Dude, he puts
I
on
don't.
such good matches.
Yeah. I mean, I don't see how there could really be an argument for anybody else. I could see if you want to make the argument for Jericho because most wins of all time. I'm just saying if you want to make the argument for somebody else.
Yeah.
That would be it. However, this body of work is just magnificent.
Yeah, I mean,
it really is.
It takes it back to what it was kind of originally, and back in its heyday when it was Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels and Mr. Perfect and Rick
Yeah.
Rude having the title. Like, it's the worker's title, and
Yeah.
anytime he's on a card, it just feels like a big deal. And I really like that they're doing it on Raw. Like, make Raw feel like a must-watch show, because that's when you get your Gunther. They did the same thing when he was on SmackDown. He was main eventing SmackDowns with the Intercontinental title. Like, that title just feels like such a big deal. And I don't know who takes it off him, but I'm very excited for when that moment happens. It is going to make whoever takes that title off of him, and he's just going to go to the moon. Like, again, that's one of those guys that they're going to bank on. Like, that's the future. He is a star. He carries himself like a star. I think it was a good showing by Bronson Reed. I like that they protect the tsunami. Like, he has that in his back pocket if nobody's ever kicked out of that kind of thing. And hey, that could set up a rematch and go, I didn't hit you with my big move kind of thing. So,
yeah.
But overall, great match.
Yeah, and I think that what I enjoy the most about Gunther's reign right now is, we talk about who's going to take the title off of Rollins. We talk about who's going to dethrone Roman. I'm not looking to see Gunther get dethroned anytime soon. As far as Intercontinental champ, because there is that prestige that he has brought to his matches as of late. It's like, nah, let's ride this until the wheels fall off. And I've told you what I would want to see at WrestleMania: Intercontinental champion versus world champion, winner take all.
Yeah.
That would
cement it.
That I think would be the final, just kind of pièce de résistance on what this title reign has been for him. He has done every other thing you can with the championship. Be that guy that says, okay, I still want to contend for that belt too, but look what I've done for this here.
Yeah, and the best part, I think, is like they haven't even really tapped into what Imperium can be. Like, he's doing a lot of this without Imperium being a big deal. And I don't know if they're going to do that. They seem to really like Ludwig and kind of seem to be behind him. He had the match with Johnny on Raw. Man, Johnny, his theme song sucks.
I know.
It's so bad.
It's disappointing.
Like, it almost makes me not want to cheer him, if that makes sense. Oof. It's just so bad. Dude, go through theme songs throughout wrestling history. Every top star has a great theme song. His is so bad, and it sucks because his used to be so good, and it would get you hyped.
Yeah.
And go back to the other one when he was a heel. Like, even that's better than this crap. It's just theme songs are a really, really big deal in wrestling, and I think it's hurting Johnny that he has such a bad theme song. And that might be a hot take, but I just I don't get excited when I hear his theme music anymore.
Yeah. First point I'll make on that: Jim Johnston for WWE Hall of Fame class of 2024. Just gonna go ahead and throw that out there now. Or that, whichever. I know what I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Don't interrupt my take, all right? Or else I'm gonna deal with your boy Johnny Van Frank later. All right. Second point that I'm gonna make on this one is this has just not been, this main roster run has been terrible for Johnny Gargano. And yes, there is hope now that Papa H is firmly back in the driver's seat, but realistically,
is there?
Yeah, he is. I have no reason to think that he's not. Because because we've talked about this off air too. I mean, Ari Emanuel is still the CEO of TKO. If he decides Triple H is going to remain as head of creative, that's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And I think that Vince is smart enough to just stay away from the micro, focus on the macro, TV rights deals. That's why he wanted to come back anyway, is what he says. I have no reason to think that Ari is going to mess with that dynamic, especially because it's printing them money.
Okay, we'll see. As soon as those ratings dip, the old man will be right back in there.
Do we know that, though?
We have a long history of him getting right back involved. Somehow weaseling his way back in. I mean, the man retired and then somehow got back on the board of directors. Like, he is not out until, this might be a little controversial, like, he's not out until he's dead. You know what I mean? Like, and he's going to live to 120. So we got another 50 years of Vince.
I hear you. I do hear you. Again, this is the first time that Vince McMahon has ever had a boss. That will always, I mean, what you don't have to agree, and that's fine. However, this is very different from last time. This is very different from last time. And if Ari is taking this stance now because of what, I mean, realistically, while every creative decision Triple H has made has not been the greatest that we've seen over the last year, like that's just the reality of it. Is you're going to have some good decisions, you're going to have some bad ones. That's just human nature.
You know about that.
However,
I had to get that in there. Sorry.
I really have to stop telling you about my weekend. Anyway.
Man.
Overall, business is generally up. There's generally happiness within WWE about what he is doing. Wipe that smug look off your face, all right? Like,
cracked myself up. Oh, that was good. That was good. Good job. Oh.
Can we?
You have my attention, sir.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think that it's bold to say that immediately Vince is going to be put back in charge the second that there's a problem, because I just think that there's still too much that Triple H can do from a creative standpoint, where morale is higher. Everybody's much more invested in what they're doing. And, there is not that megalomaniacal micromanagement that we are used to from Mr. McMahon.
Okay.
I really just wanted the alliteration there.
Yep. We will see. I can't wait till Kennedy Vincent shows up on AEW.
Declan McMahon is now all elite.
Oh, man. When's he getting the business?
That's a good question. We'll see how these next few years at IU treat him, and who knows, he might find himself with an NIL deal.
When was the last IU football player drafted in the NFL? Can you name an IU football player ever?
Tevin Coleman, I think, was IU.
I have no idea. If you know, good for you.
I'm curious.
I have no idea. Like, as much as he's living his dream, and that's great. Like, he's playing Division I football. That's more than I did.
Yep, he did play Indiana 2012 to 2014. You're welcome.
Okay, what's he doing now? Exactly. So yeah, that'll be an interesting dynamic as well. And that's way further down the road on our 350th episode, but which is not that far away actually. But what's this? Not necessarily Triple H creator goes well. Dylan, I would agree, but Vince always has a way, doesn't he? Always has a way. He was supposed to give up power a long time ago. I do not.
I agree with it, but
we have watched WWE for how long? My entire life, all 29 years,
yep.
And Vince is in charge. At the end of the day, it's Vince's company, and I have a hard time believing.
No, it's not.
I have a hard time believing, ego-wise and just smarts-wise, he would be able to give that up. Because, like you said, Ari's going to come to him with the bigger decisions, right? Ari hasn't been in the wrestling world his entire life. Vince has. You think Ari is going to trust him?
I mean, I think that he will to some degree, but and we'll come back to Dylan's thoughts on Judgment Day as well in a second. But I think we are also forgetting there is still the cloud of whatever is happening with the Department of Justice and Vince McMahon. We don't know the scope of what has happened the last couple of months since it was announced about the grand jury subpoena and all of that stuff. That's just how the DOJ works. But you have to think that is still going to be a factor in whatever they decide to involve Vince in.
Again, I've lived long enough, and you're a lawyer, so you should know this.
I am.
The rich people, they don't always get their comeuppance, do they?
It's fair to say that they don't always.
They don't always. So again, that's another one where that's a totally different issue. But I will believe Vince is out when Vince is out, and it is 100% official. I don't have that trust. And again, not saying that him being an ear to listen to is bad, because he's been in the business for so long, but you cannot convince me that he is 100% out. I will not believe you ever.
Well, I'm not saying that he's 100%. I mean, when you say 100% out, are you being specific as far as 100% out of creative? Okay.
No, I know he's still involved in the company, but creative wise,
just saying,
like Triple H is married into the family. You think they don't talk?
I'm not going to say that they don't. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that that's the case. But generally, more often than not, we can tell what a quality produced episode of Raw or SmackDown is and which one has had the hatchet job 45 minutes before.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to shrug my shoulders, and when Vince is out, Vince is out.
All right, you're waiting until it's official. You know what is official, though?
What's that?
Fatal 5-way match at Crown Jewel for the WWE Women's World Championship. We have got Rhea Ripley, Raquel Rodriguez, Nia Jax, Shayna Baszler, and Tegan Nox.
Is it Tegan Nox?
Or not Tegan Nox, sorry. Zoe Stark. Yeah, I don't. Yeah. Sorry,
you're fine.
That's my bad. Good call. Good. But yeah, I mean, this seems like the first real test to Shayna's run. I mean, it's a multi-person match, and I think that's why this gives it the.
So I think we all believe Rhea will win.
Yeah.
Who takes the pin?
Probably Nia.
Yeah. Thank you. You just proved my point.
You're just so determined not to be cool about it.
100% proved my point. So I don't think we need to go in any further about that. What did you think about the tag team match? Thank you so much for proving my point.
Was what it was. What?
I love that you did that for me.
Okay, is this the greatest setup for a match involving one of the biggest, hottest stars of the company right now? No.
Nia?
Like I agree with you. What?
Nia?
I'm talking about Rhea.
I'm talking about
as far as setting up
signing Nia Jax. It was dumb.
It sure feels that way right now. Yes, I'll give it to you, but it's been what, a month? Chill.
No, I won't. I'm not chilling. You chill.
Okay, fine, then don't.
I had a coffee on the way home. You got feisty me.
I said, well, I had a coffee as I was waiting for you to actually hop on this stream. Yeah, even feistier, Mrs. Cincinnati, mug and all.
Yeah, well, don't make me make a call to Johnny. I'll make sure he's got one for you tonight.
I wish you. Yeah.
All right, let's talk about this tag team title match. I said it yesterday that I would not be shocked if Judgment Day won, and they won, and I was shocked.
You're right.
So they got me. Like I don't. I'm scratching my head on this one, man. Like I don't get it. I really don't.
I mean, I don't know where we go with this here, because the whole purpose has been to keep Jimmy and Jay separate and apart because they want to try to save this for WrestleMania. At least that's what it feels like. So Jimmy coming to cost them. Okay, like that's one thing, I guess. It's another way to try to show your loyalty to Roman and get back in good graces. But at the same time, we also had that phenomenal stare down last Friday, Rhodes, Reigns, and Aldis. So the loophole to keeping Cody on SmackDown to try to advance this story, even though it sounds like we're in the bottom of the ninth, according to Cody, doesn't make any sense unless Judgment Day drops these tag titles again, which also makes no sense, because if Priest is winning and losing tag team gold, how am I supposed to buy him as a world champion?
Do you think that was all just to remind everybody, like, hey, this is still a thing, like Cody and Roman, and that's why they got the tag title? It's like just to keep it in everybody's mind, like these two still have something, and there's a number of ways Cody can still challenge for that title. Like you can win the Chamber, you can win the Rumble, you could beat Priest for the Money in the Bank and say I'm cashing in at Mania. Like there are multiple ways that you can still have that match. Like he wasn't going to challenge Roman at WrestleMania as part of the tag team champions. We knew that, but I just like this one's a little head scratching. I don't know if it's the hey, you brought Jay over, you won the tag titles, now Kevin got traded, and then you just lost the tag titles back, and maybe that puts that further divide with Sammy, and maybe that is the heel turn that you were talking about earlier. Playing you over there playing 3D chess, but I don't. This one doesn't make a ton of sense to me, and we are a podcast that likes to have the term wait and see, and obviously this will make me want to tune into SmackDown, but did I lose Eric? I think I lost Eric. That is not good.
All right, sorry about that, everybody. Not sure what happened. I blame Johnny Van Frank.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh, he did take a lot out of the budget, folks.
yeah, clearly.
Probably that
It's
Ohio
your fault.
weather.
I blame you.
Let's be honest. It's a little gloomy out today. I don't
It
remember what
is.
point I was making, but yeah, it was.
Yeah.
I think it was about the Judgment Day.
Yeah.
Like, I think this continues to add to Cody's story. I guess we'll find out. But yeah, this one, like I said, this one was a little puzzling. What did you think?
Yeah. No, I mean, we both know I'm going to watch next week, so that's not really the issue. I think that, yeah, I just got to see more of kind of where we're going with this. I mean, I can understand Jay kind of getting a rub from Cody. Cody is the number one guy on Raw, especially trying to cement him as a main event single star, no pun intended there, because it's working. That they're happy with the crowd engagement. You always say it on this channel. He's got a very interactive entrance that gives him something that sets him apart from Jimmy, who is just trying to remain in the bloodline's good graces for whatever reason. I mean, that motivation still hasn't really been explained either, and I think that that's why it's hard for me to buy into that story on that side. Is yeah, Roman's back. Yes, he's trying to make moves and figure out what's next for Crown Jewel, but with Jimmy, it's just a little odd. It's just a little odd. So I don't know.
Yeah, we'll have to see what happens. Real quick, I want to get to this because we were going to get to it yesterday, ran out of time. I know we're
Ooh,
running a
yeah,
little
yeah.
long, but you had a question yesterday. Which would be better pairing, WWE and Impact versus AEW and New Japan? With Mickey and Impact, could this be a conduit to Trinity returning? So, kind of a two-ended question there. For me, I'll give you kind of a quick answer. I think it's the AEW New Japan. I think those two styles are well integrated. I think you already have your AEW talent going over to New Japan and doing those shows. I don't know if WWE going and doing an Impact show would feel big. And that saying that because I think AEW and New Japan are kind of on the same level, right?
Okay.
I think a WWE and an Impact are way down here. So that's why I think that pairing, if it was Impact stars coming to WWE, sure, I think that would work out all day. But I think if there was a WWE presence on Impact, I think that would just be a little weird because Impact is clearly out of these four the fourth company. Like it's I would say by far the fourth company. To your second question, maybe I don't know. I don't know if you saw the video that surfaced over the weekend with Sasha Banks or Mercedes Monet. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. So I don't know. It did not seem to end well with WWE for whatever reason. Her husband still being in the company probably helps, but that's a question I don't know. I'd love to see her return, in the Rumble this year. That'd be an awesome pop, but I don't know what the contract looks like. I don't know anything about that. I don't know if those creative differences or those personal differences or whatever caused that breakup to happen have subsided. I don't. That one I don't know. So
yeah.
Great questions. What do you think to both of them?
Yeah, I mean, I certainly am not saying that WWE stars should go and work a specific Impact event. I mean, certainly the benefit is much bigger if you have Impact stars going and showing up at WWE events. I think even something co-branded isn't necessarily the worst idea in the world. I think it depends on what stars you pull from Impact in order to advance certain things, because I do think that there is still talent there that, while you might not mix them up with a Roman Reigns, there might be some interest in a Seth Rollins or an Ilya Dragunov, or there are other ways to work and have that talent integrated, into a WWE product. I love the pairing between AEW and New Japan. However, at the same time, and you've had questions about this, especially when we were looking at Wrestle Dream, how AEW is used now and not necessarily showcased in prime spots here. That would be something that would be an issue here. I think that especially because we have seen.
Hopefully, we don't.
And have some sort of informal alliance. We're looking at at progress right now. There's something I'm using up.
you still there? Hopefully, we didn't lose Eric again. Can you hear me?
No, I'm here.
Okay. I was gonna say you got a little splotchy there towards the end. I mean, that may be fate telling. That may be fate telling us to put an end to this one.
Yeah. No, I think this is the end of it. Sorry for the tech issues, everybody. Thank you so much for watching this episode of the Wrestling Junkies podcast. Like, share, subscribe. Thank you so much for joining the Wrestling Junkies podcast. We'll talk to you.